Good morning. Welcome to Deacon Joe Daily. It is Monday. It is the Solemnity of Saints Peter and Paul. And I have a new camera, so hopefully the video will be better. I do have a new um, microphone, but I need an adapter to hook it up to the computer. Hopefully, I'll get that today, and we'll have better recording for the audio tomorrow. I'm using StreamYard, which is a different function here, so bear with me if I struggle a little bit to get this thing up and rolling today. So let's first of all like and share the videos. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm investing a little bit more in the production, not me, but my son Matt, as far as their present gave me this great camera. So you can thank him, and that's why I'm wearing his parish hat to support the company that he's partnering. I don't know why that welcome is there, but welcome. So, with that, let's dive into these readings. First reading is Acts of the Apostles, and this is a very interesting story about how Herod had arrested Peter and had him chained, and an angel of the Lord came in the dead of night and released Peter. The chains dropped from his hands, the doors opened, and he had a getaway. And he at first wasn't sure what was going on, and after the angel left him, he said certainly that was an angel of God. And it was just not his time yet. And I'm going to get to a point about that in just a minute. The second reading is the second letter of Paul to Timothy. And this is the one where Paul says he's being poured out like a libation. So Peter's getting close to the end. Paul's getting close to the end. And one of the things that we can learn from this, if you ever go to Rome, you'll know that the basilica is in one place, and the Church of St. Paul outside the walls is in another place. Those are the two spots where they were martyred. Peter was martyred inside Rome, crucified upside down, and Paul was beheaded outside. Um, it's very uh, interesting, and I owe this little reflection to Dr. Gray. Um, and I do want to maybe mention Bishop Barron too. But Tim Gray said that there was two twins in ancient Rome that were always put up as the twins of Rome, Romulus and Remus, and and that they were like the founders of old Rome. And what he said was what happens after this period of time is that Paul and Peter wind up being the new twins of Rome because Rome is going to be converted to Christianity. And it's because of the work of Peter and Paul. And many times what you'll see are pictures of them together looking at each other. And there's an interesting movie called Peter and Paul that I saw many years ago, and it talks about potential tension between the two of them, but how it was resolved. And of course, it was resolved in both of them being martyrs of the church. So, what is this gospel about today? Of course, it's the gospel where Peter um, uh, answers Jesus when he says, "Who do you say I am?" And he said, "You are the Christ." Now, there is an interesting little part here. One of the commentators, I'm not sure which one, mentioned this, but he says, he changes Peter's name um, in two regards. First, Petrus, rock, Peter, you are Peter now. And second, he says, Peter bar Jonah. And that's interesting because you know that Peter's dad was not Jonah. But who was Jonah? That was the prophet who had Nineveh turn around from its sinfulness and become faithful to God. And so what happens here is um, Peter is kind of in a way a new Jonah because he has Rome turn from its sinfulness and become Christian. He becomes the bishop of Rome. So just some interesting little tidbits. But But we know that Peter's given the keys to the gates of heaven, and he is made the head of the church. And really, uh, if you look into the writing today in the Divine Office from Augustine, talks about how Peter uh, was seen as the head of the church from the beginning, and we know that throughout. His successors are uh, the bishops of Rome and the popes. So today, what I would recommend is a couple of things. First, um, let us gain an understanding of what um, is going on in the scriptures. What I mean by that is um, the first half of Acts is about Peter and his ministry, and the second half is about Paul and his ministry. Acts together is the story of the early church, Peter and Paul laying the foundation for the missionary efforts of the church to spread Christianity throughout the world. So I hope that today we can maybe invest a little thought on the early church. Uh, be thankful for Peter and Paul. Be thankful for their martyrdom and all the martyrs who gave their blood to to fertilize the soil for the growth of Christianity. Um, and then ask for their intercession for anything that is troubling you, especially if you have any troubles regarding sinfulness, and turn away from it, be reconciled with the Lord, and um, and know that God's mercy is manifest in His love for us. So, with that, I hope this new video format works. I'm going to throw it out there now, and we'll see how it works. You pray for me. I'll pray for you. God bless everybody.